kapag gumaling ka, alam mo hindi ka magugutom. Parang you will be compensated for the amount of value you can give to the world, to the people around you, to your community. Kung yun yung ipa-prioritize mo and not the money, I think the money will take care of itself. Right now kasi ang pinaka gusto ko gawin and where I can really contribute a lot to just build something, no? Learn all these lessons, no? And share it to other people. Kaya I started din sa content creation because I feel good whenever I share my story and meron mga na-inspire, no? Kahit although hindi yun yung goal eh. Because of triathlon, nagkaroon ako ng confidence sa sarili ko na dati wala ako eh. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, mahihain ako dati. But because of that, because of my achievements, you know what? Araw-araw pinupush mo sarili mo.
May wins ka.
Meron ka wins eh. And then you need those proof para maging confident ka. Hindi, ang hirap naman yung maging confident ka tas basis mo lang is delusion.
Yeah. Welcome to the Homegrown Podcast, where we shine a spotlight on inspiring stories from respected professionals, creators, and community leaders. The show dives into real talks on career, growth, relationships, and the hustle of building something meaningful. Whether you're chasing your passion or navigating your path, the Homegrown Podcast is here to motivate, represent, and remind you greatness can start right at home. So today's guest is someone who refuses to be defined by only one path. He is a physician, entrepreneur, athlete, and national duathlon champion. While going through the demanding journey of medical school, he was building Wallex, a Filipino direct-to-consumer wallet brand that started online and eventually expanded into physical retail. From personally handling live selling, fulfillment, marketing, and day-to-day operations, he helped grow Wallex from a simple business idea into a brand that has sold tens of thousands of products and generated millions in revenue. But beyond medicine, business, and fitness, his story is really about discipline. The ability to manage competing dreams, take risks, learn through failure, and continue building even when life becomes overwhelming. So today we talk about his journey through medical school, the beginnings of Wallex, his life as an athlete, and how he continues to balance ambition, health, purpose, and success. Let's welcome to the Homegrown Podcast, Dr. Paulo Vispo.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming to our podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah.
And accepting yung invitation to be here sa a Homegrown Podcast.
Yeah, syempre. Lalo pa, sinabi mo sa akin that you are an ortho resident, no? Naalala ko nga nung I think lahat ng lalaki sa med school, first year, tatanungin mo, ano gusto mo maging? Lagi sasabihin, gusto ko maging ortho, gusto ko maging cardio-thoracic surgeon, no? Yeah, so, and at some point, kinonsider ko rin. So, nung sinabi mo sa akin that you are an ortho resident, I really, nakakatuwa na, I was able to connect. And I'm happy to be here and share my story.
Yeah, thank you for being here and giving me the chance to let the people know about your story. Kasi umabot sa akin eh. I just randomly scroll TikTok at times. Siyempre, pag may free time tayo, TikTok. And then Facebook and all. And then umaabot yung mga stories mo. Ay, yung mga posts mo sa TikTok. Yeah. And yeah, very interesting yung story mo.
Thank you.
How's life lately as a...
since passing the boards, I promised myself na I'll take some time off from medicine, no? Ay, alam mo naman, no, kung nasa medisina ka, yung during med school, talagang toxic, busy ka, especially ng mga clerkship, no, internship na nasa hospital ka. And sabi ko sa sarili ko, I'm gonna take a break from medicine and do whatever I want. And part of it is traveling, trying out new things, and syempre, building Wallex. Yeah.
So, how's a day in the life?
Day in the life? I'm actually creating one ngayon, no? Kasi very, toxic yung very productive yung day ngayon, no? But yeah, basically araw-araw I make sure that I get to exercise pa rin and do some business stuff. Yeah.
Do some business stuff every day. So, anong oras ka nagigising? Ano yung grind ng isang Paulo Vispo?
Yeah. Alam mo, kapag sinasabi nilang discipline, parang kailangan nagigising ka ng ganitong oras every day, consistent. Sa akin, it's different eh. I don't think na para maging successful ka, kailangan nagigising ka ng 5 a.m. Nagigising ka ng 4 a.m. I don't think na ganun. Iba-iba tayo. I can be productive kahit magising ako ng 10 a.m. No? Basta ang pinaka-importante is planado yung the next day ko and alam ko yung gagawin ko. So, yeah, for me, I'll make sure I'll prioritize sleep. Then, alam ko kapag maganda tulog ko, I can do well, mas malinaw yung pag-iisip ko. And yeah, exercise, just making sure that every day I get to run and build something. It's I make sure that alam mo yun, araw-araw meron ka nilook forward and you are moving closer to where you want to be, you know. So yeah, yun yung araw-araw.
So now lately more of a businessman ka na.
Yeah.
More of like a medical doctor.
Not a medical doctor. Definitely.
So hindi ka na nagpa-practice ng hindi ka nag-moonlight or anything?
Alam mo pare, simula nang makapasa ako sa PLE, never ako nag-gig. Never ako
nag-moonlight.
Diretso ako akit bundok.
Saan ka
Right after the boards, no, I invited my co-interns. Sabi ko, akit tayo bundok. Let's go to Pulag. Hindi pa sila nakakakit ng bundok. Sabi ko, let's do Pulag. Yeah. Umakit kami doon, bumabagyo. We were about to go back to the, to Baguio na kasi bumabagyo talaga. Sabi ko, alam mo, andito na tayo. Magiging magandang kwento to someday. Let's do it. And umakit kami doon. Nasa summit kami. Lakas ng ulan. But you know what? These are the kind of stories na sarap ikwento someday, no? Hindi maganda yung nangyari. Akit ka ng bundok, you are expecting sea of clouds, peaceful, no? But etong mga mga nangyayaring ganito, problema, it adds spice dun sa kwento mo later on sa mga magiging friends mo, 'di ba? Sa family. Yeah. Good experience.
Umakyat din ako ng Pulag. after medical
no
school,
way.
After PLE din.
After PLE.
Hindi, before PLE umakyat ako ng Pulag.
Before PLE. Don't tell me, ano yan? Habang nag-review ka?
Hindi, before the review season.
Yeah.
Nice. I think kung ang PLE ko nun was March.
Yeah.
So, umakyat ako Pulag, I think, before November. Mga ganun. Umakyat kami ng friends ko. Mga nice. Doctor friends din.
Oh, nice. Nagkaroon kay Sea of Clouds nun.
Nagka-Sea of Clouds kami nun. Napakaganda.
Para imagine mo, bumabagyo. Wala kang nakikita kahit ano. Nakikita mo lang yung post doon. Tapos sobrang lakas ng...
Pero actually, nakakatakot na siya kahit hindi pa bumabagyo.
Imagine mo.
First time ko... hindi naman first time umakyat ng bundok. Pero like, first time ko na mag-trail talaga going to a place na gano'n.
Na gano'n, no? Tapos bumabagyo pa.
Tapos napakaganda sa taas.
Napakaganda, yeah.
Napakalamig, napakaganda. Pero mahirap siya akyatin, ha? Like, I mean, for someone na hindi naman umakyat lagi. Medyo athletic pa ako noon. Pero mahirap siya akyatin, ha? Like, before the Sea of Clouds, yung medyo mataas din yung elevation niya. Pero ang ganda.
Yeah. I think marami na ako naakyat. Masabi ko hanggang ngayon, Pulag yung isa sa mga pinakababalik-balikan kong bundok. It's accessible, malapit lang sa atin, taga Manila, no? Ilang oras lang andun ka na. And yung view, pare, it's rewarding eh. Naranasan mo yan, nakita mo yan, no? It's different.
Minsan binabalikan ko lang yung pictures niya eh.
Yung picture.
Tapos parang, ganda.
Tapos mag-senti ka. Toxic ka sa duty.
Titignan mo lang. Ang ganda na experience ko yun.
Yeah.
So, ang dami mong identities before, no? Na as an athlete, a medical student, entrepreneur, and content creator, no? So, medyo similar din yung story ko before. I was trying to be an athlete, a doctor also, but yung wearing content creation, wearing different hats. So, ngayon, for you ba, mas naging natural na lang becoming a businessman or...
Ganda niyan, You know what? Kaya kong sabihin na parang calling ko talaga magnegosyo. I find joy in building. Parang even before entering med school, sabi ko sa sarili ko, I want to build something for myself. Hindi ko alam kung ano yun. Pwedeng business, pwedeng sa profession ko as a doctor. Hindi ko alam, but alam ko sarili ko, I want to build something. So, I tried different businesses. I tried selling fake AirPods dati. Fake AirPods and irereklamo ko sa Facebook, magalit sa'yo. You know what? And hindi siya maganda. But you know what? Marami akong natutunan dun eh. And yeah, yung mga bagay na ganun, mas nakikilala mo sarili mo and mas nagiging buo ka. Alam mo yan? So yeah, kahit pangit yung ginawa ko noon, pangit eh. Parang I was scamming people. I was selling fake stuff sa kanila.
Was it really fake? Or like made in somewhere?
Made in China na marketed as AirPods. Yung box niya pare, AirPods na AirPods. Pero obviously, yung presyo, I was selling it for less than 2K. Yeah, but during that time, ang dami kasing peke. And you can get almost the same quality pero hindi siya tatagal. But I was able to earn my first 6 digits from that. But my mom hated me for it. Ayaw niya kasi ang feeling niya parang naluloko ako. And eventually nag-sink in, ayoko yung ganitong negosyo. Alam mo, kahit gaano karami pera mo, kung hindi mo nakukuha yun sa malinis, sa tamang paraan, it's not going to feel good, at least for me. Yeah.
Actually, ginawa ko din yun. not the fake one, not the fake stuff. Pero nung med school ko naman na-realize, di ba lahat tayo, dati books tayo sa med school. Umabot naman ako dun, bumili kami ng books and all.
Okay.
Tapos naabutan ko yung nag-transition kami to iPads. So nakita ko yung nag-transition kami to iPads. So lahat ng tao may iPad, lahat may pens, and then lahat may phones. I saw a store sa San Juan selling phones, selling gadgets. And then, yun, I tried to buy and sell. Buy and sell iPads. And
really?
Una, nag-start kami sa condo. So, magko-collect ako ng orders. Kukunin yung price list, kukollect ako orders. Tapos may nabideal naman ako. I earn like, siguro mga 5K, 6K.
Kada item?
Kada item. Ang gagawin ko lang, bibilin ko lang sa supplier, ibebenta ko lang sa papatungan ko ng konti, siguro for the effort and for the extra income. Tapos nabibenta ko naman. Pero at the back of my mind, may fear ako na hindi kaya fake yun. Mukha namang hindi kasi meron namang code and all. Nache-check naman nila. So far, wala namang bumalik sa akin.
Yeah.
Pero what if nga may bumalik, di ba? Medyo may fear ako na hindi ko kasi siya product. So, hindi ko siya fully mabenta. Pero it worked. Like, meron na yung selling mentality ko nun na
that's nice.
I wanna earn from something else.
And ginawa mo to while you're
in med school.
In med school. Wow.
Yeah.
Alam mo pare, wala akong nakikitang ganyan eh. I think, konting ilan lang tayo na nagkakaroon ng ganyang hobby, trip na nag-buy and sell, na nagtatayo ng negosyo while in med school.
Oh.
Wow.
Ay, parang ano lang siya eh. Parang, alam mo yung entrepreneurial, mo lang, mga stints mo na nagbebenta ka ng random stuff.
Yeah.
Para may mabili ka sa mga hobbies mo.
Kasi
ako noon, nagbabike ako. So, nagbabike ako before. So, ang ginawa ko, to be able to buy yung parts
yung
na gusto
luho
ko.
Mo.
Mga luho ko. Nag-wholesale ako ng parts. So, for example, Shimano parts ng
Shimano.
bikes. So, humanap ako ng wholesaler price.
Okay.
So, ang gagawin ko, bibilin ko yung certain number of products. Bibenta ko yung others para makuha ko yung parts na gusto ko at a cheaper price.
Galing nga.
Diba?
Galing nga. Bibili ka ng marami nun para makuha mo ng mura. Tapos bibenta mo yung iba. That's nice.
So, sa med school, ganun yun nung time na yun. Or like after med school, dinaloy ko yun.
Kailan to? Anong taon to? Parang dami mong time nung
Hindi, kasi yung med school namin was, parang may exam kami once a week lang eh. So, pag na-schedule mo yung days mo, kaya siya eh. Nasa Facebook ka rin naman.
Ba?
Yeah, ASMPH.
Okay. Ano year to? Is this,
First year ko, second year.
Post-pandemic?
Pre and post.
Oh, yun. Nasa gitna. Natamaan kayo.
Oo.
Okay. Kasi feeling ko ang dami nagbago sa med since since nagkaroon ng pandemic eh.
Kami natamaan ng pandemic. So,
Anong year nung nag-pandemic?
2019? Was it 2019 yung pandemic? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
as far as I
2019.
remember, March 2019 yung pandemic eh.
Yeah.
Going to clerkship na ako nun eh. So,
Ooh.
hindi kami nag-clerkship ng first few months.
Yeah.
And then after, bumalik kami nung pandemic na. So, meron kang, nasa bahay ka lang, nagme-med school. Na-experience mo ba yun? Like,
Sa akin, kami yung unang batch nung kami yung unang batch na nagka-COVID nung I think nag-lockdown tayo ng I think March, no? Nag-lockdown. Kami yung pumasok nung next school year. Kami yung batch na yun.
so,
Total lockdown yun eh.
hindi ka nakapag-clerkship?
I was a first year nung time na yun.
First year pala,
Yeah,
first year.
first year. Yeah, yun.
So, online kayo?
Online, pare. Online. I think going through second year, purely online. So, it was a different experience. Hindi kami nakahawak ng cadaver. Alam mo yun? Yun. Kaya nung clerkship, first time ko makita nung nagka-cutting, first time ko makita ng gano'n. Yeah.
Pero hindi mo siya na-feel na i-continue as a profession and as a career? Or is this just a time in your life feeling mo na
yung pagme-medicine, papaging doktor?
Oo.
You know what? Yung ganyan, parang right now kasi ang pinaka gusto ko gawin and where I can really contribute a lot. And kung ano lang yung gusto ko gawin at this moment is to just build something, no? Build something, learn all these lessons, no? And share it to other people. Kaya I started din sa content creation because I feel good whenever I share my story and meron mga na-inspire, no? Kahit although hindi yun yung goal eh. The goal is to get better. And parang side effect sa akin, ganun yung paniniwala ko eh. Kapag gumaling ka, alam mo hindi ka magugutom. Parang you will be compensated for the amount of value you can give to the world, to the people around you, to your community. And yeah, kung yun yung ipa-prioritize mo and not the money, I think it will take care of itself. The money will take care of itself. Ganyan din, I think, kapag naging doktor ka. Kaya nagkakaroon, kaya bilang doktor, we can afford this travel, this kind of lifestyle because we are rewarded for what we can give to our patients, to the people.
Yung value.
And yung value. And I think I can do that sa business eh. Meron akong magagawa sa business and I can share it to people. And ganun ko siya nakikita. If I can serve, if I can merong purpose behind all of this eh. And sa ngayon, it's all pointing to pursuing business more than yung path ng pagdodoktor. Yun.
Pero I think naka-help naman yung like discipline mo of going through med school and all. Or maybe naka-help naman lahat ng pinagdaanan mo sa med school into realizing that you are in this path eh.
Definitely.
Ito talaga yung para sa'yo eh.
Definitely. Merong mga panahon na nasa ospital ka and naisip mo na, you know what, mas gugustuhin kong nagpapak ng orders kaysa tinitingnan ko yung mga pasyente, kaysa nag-chart ako dito, kaysa nag-assist ako sa OR. You know what, merong mga moments na ganun while I was doing my clerkship, my internship, no? And that's when I realized that maybe pursuing business full-time, pwede kong i-consider. But I'm not saying no to training pa rin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero respect to your decision. Hindi ganun kadali na gawin yung decision na yun. Like personally, I also had yung mga thoughts na ganun when I was starting na as a doctor. I mean, syempre, the whole medical school pala, I was having thoughts na, ba't hindi na ako magnegosyo? Ba't hindi na ako kumita ng other ways?
Yeah.
Like, bakit? Kasi I was doing crypto, ang dami kong ginagawa. I was doing crypto stocks, Philippine stocks, and all of those, yung crypto and stocks, I learned in med school. First year med school, nung nagtitrade ako ng iPads and all, I was doing crypto and stocks. Nung time na yun.
Ang dami.
Natutunan ko sila sa mga friends ko sa med school na Chinese.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, yung grind nila, kasi nga, hindi ka kumikita during med school, naghahanap ka ng means to earn. Kasi nga, you're like, ano ba, ilang taon tayo nun? 21-year-old, 23-year-old.
Yeah, mga
Na
ganun.
yung other friends mo, they're earning from their jobs. And you're in med school, you're just studying, na ikaw pa yung
Nagre-rely sa allowance.
Nagre-rely sa allowance. So, parang may sort of, may hinahanap ka na, I should be earning. I should be, kaya ko dapat kumita and all. So, yun yung time na yun. So, I also had the same thought process na, ba't hindi ako magnegosyo? Pero I tried multiple stuff naman din. And it led me to the path na, baka talaga yung calling ko is to become a doctor and to do orthopedics. So, nagka-stall din ako na, in-invite kasi ako palagi ng mga classmates ko na Chinese in med school. Na business people.
Yung mga friends mo na to, while you were in med school, lahat sila nagnenegosyo rin? Meron mga side hustle din?
May side hustle kami nung med school.
Ang dami
Ang dami. Meron yung iba, gumagawa sila ng suture pads. Binibenta nila to during med school. Yung isang friend ko nag-invite sa akin, we started a stall na nagbebenta ng chicken. Yung chicken pops.
Okay.
Nagbabazar kami sa school.
Okay.
We eventually tried to do sa isang condo, sa isang tower sa Ortigas. Kaso na pandemic.
Okay.
So parang those were signs. Yeah, nahinto lahat.
Pero despite all that, yung mga ginagawa mo while you were in med school, was that not enough for you to realize na maybe gusto ko talaga magnegosyo? Kasi ngayong sineshare mo sa akin yan, I think, sa akin sabi ko, hindi ka magkakaroon ng ganyang itch na magnegosyo, mag-buy and sell, na kumita para sa sarili mo if you're not inclined to doing business. Buti na consider mo pa mag-training,
kasi,
mag-residency.
Di ba rin pala, in our institution, may MBA kami.
So
we were taught also na ganito, ganyan. And all. Pero my parents kasi are doctors . I think for our family, yung sa industry namin na yun, mas magpa-prosper, mas pa-prosper kung itutuloy ko siya. And it's a very noble profession also. It's a very it's a vocation na maging doktor . Napakasarap din na mag-treat ng isang patient. Napakasarap na mapasaya and masave ang isang life. So nung later marami akong business failures. And na-realize ko na yun, focus na ako dito. Focus lang muna ako sa isa. Which is the same with you. Focus ako sa it just happened to be medicine and pagiging doktor. And ito is siguro itong podcast na to is like a outlet siguro to continue yung content creation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so nung bata ka ba, were you always like this or like were you always active?
Yeah, I can say na I was always active, but I was mahihain ako . Hindi ako marunong makipag-usap sa tao. I used to, antisocial. Wala ako masyadong friends nung high school. Nasanay lang ako lagi na mag-isa. And kahit sa training nung high school ako, nung college ako, lagi ako mag-isa tumatakbo. I'm not used to, alam mo yun, joining a club. Yun. Pero I've always been active. No? Lagi ako nag-workout. Bata pala kami magkakapatid, nagpo-push up na kami, nagpo-pull ups na kami. So, andun na yung na-develop na namin yung pagiging active pa lang at an early age. We were so grateful for our parents kasi naalala ko nung high school kami, pare, linggo, gigisingin kami ng parents namin na 4 a.m. para tumakbo. And high school ka nun. I mean, di mo ma-enjoy yun . There's no way na ma-enjoy mo yun. Gusto mo lang matulog, humilata. Pero kami, Sunday, ang family day namin, ang family bonding namin, natatakbo kami. Gising maaga, then punta sa fast food. Resto. Yan yung ginagawa namin when bata-bata kami, yan yung ginagawa namin. And because of my parents, lahat kami ngayon magkakapatid, walang bisyo, thankfully, and lahat kami active, lahat merong bisyo, ibang bisyo. Nag-workout, nag-gym. Iba-iba.
What began as a small pediatric clinic has now grown into a dedicated space for healing. From one doctor to a team. From serving children parents, and even grandparents. For 25 years, we've watched families grow, and now it's time we grow with them. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic, our foundation is built on values that define how we care, how we lead, and how we grow. We lead with compassion, we strive with excellence, and we embrace innovation. Our vision moving forward is to become your family's one-stop healthcare partner, a clinic built around your life. These are more than words, they are who we are. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ellen Mee P. de Guzman.
I'm Mylene Medrano Kilang.
I'm Dr. Christine Campos S. Talona.
Dr. Iverson S. Cruz.
And I am Dr. Minerva B. Malilin, your trusted pediatrician.
Our vision is to be a trusted, family-oriented, multi-specialty clinic known for quality of service, patient-oriented care across all ages. Because your health matters at every age and every season. Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic. Healthcare that grows with you.
Ngayon na binabalikan mo siya, parang ang galing, no? Dapat, buti pala ganun yung ginagawa namin before.
Yeah. Ako, because of that, sabi ko, you know what, pag magkakaroon ako ng pamilya, alam mo, I don't care kung magalit sa akin yung anak ko, tatakbo kami every weekend, no? It's a non-negotiable. Tatakbo tayo, mag-workout tayo. They will hate you during that moment, but you know what, 10 years from now, it will yan yung madedevelop nila yung discipline because of that. And they will be thankful for you for doing that.
For doing that. Yeah. Actually, ako may kid na ako, 4 months old siya na. So, I'm really excited na gawin yun. Gagawin ko din yun. Gusto kong maturuan siya mag-push up pag na.
Push up. Push up muna bago makalakad.
Makalakad. Kanina umaga, ganun ginagawa ko. Kasi nakaka-roll na siya eh.
Push up na dapat.
Push up na next. Nakaganon na siya eh. Malapit na.
Yeah.
I'll try to do that. So when you were a kid ba, maano ka din? Like, entrepreneurial ka na din? O may signs na ba ng entrepreneurship nun?
Wala pare. Ang maalala ko lang nung ano ba ginagawa ko nun? Pag-girlfriend. Tapos, I discovered triathlon. Then, dun umikot ang mundo ko no college. Dun umikot yung mundo ko. I was working out. Naging side hustle ang pag-aaral nun. Naging full-time athlete ako during that time.
Ako din.
Yeah, with the Muay Thai ba to?
Yung Muay Thai kasi was later ends na ng college eh.
Okay.
Pero dati, badminton ako all my life. As in,
you've been an athlete all your life. I mean, hindi ka, parang recently lang, active ka rin.
I started grade 5.
Okay.
I was a fat kid. Fat kid ako nun. Tapos, siguro yung parents ko nakikita, ang laki ko na.
So, pinasok
ako sa badminton. Naka-jersey pa ako ng basketball. Kasi badminton kami every week. Until sa naging competitive din. So, yun.
Competitive.
Oo.
Not hindi yung leisure na.
Ewan ko paano naging competitive at first somehow.
Don't tell me nag-Milo ka. Pinasok ka sa Milo.
Hindi naman. Ikaw ba nag-Milo ka?
Hindi ko alam. Alam mo pare, ito magulat ka. Nung bata ako, hindi parang hindi ko naalala yan eh. Pinasok kami ng parents ko sa ballet dancing. And lahat kami lalaki.
I don't know. Baka maganda sa balance mo ngayon sa Muay Thai.
Parang hindi, matigas pa rin eh.
Sa tiptoe mo, babang sumisipa ka.
Pag sumisipa ka, no? Yeah. Pero yeah.
So, ballet. So,
ballet.
Aside from that, ano pang ginawa niyo yung triathlon?
Oh yeah, nag-badminton rin ako. But ang talagang sport ko na kinalakihan was running talaga. Then that got me into triathlon eventually.
I hated running. Sobrang hate ko running.
Nag-Muay Thai ka, hindi ba part ng triathlon?
Pero nag-run ako now.
Oh, yeah.
I run because I hate running. Do you get?
Oh, that's nice. Do
you get the idea?
I like the mindset. Yeah.
Kasi I hate running. Nag-invite ako ng friends ko tumakbo. This morning sana, kaso hindi nagising yung mga friends ko. So, nag-invite ako para maparan nila. Para maparan.
Yeah. Para ma-force mo yung sarili mo. Into that discomfort. That's nice. Nice. Oh.
But I hate running. Kasi nung badminton ako before, pinapatakbo kami sa
Doon sa court.
sa
Parang
court,
warm
yun,
up.
ayaw ko yun. Kaya gusto ko yung mga sports kasi parang napapatakbo ka
Yeah.
na hindi mo na realize.
Yeah.
So how do you train yung triathlon during college? Ang hirap na sa schedule.
You know what? Like, siguro, lang ako, sakit lang ako sa ulo. Like, gusto ko lang gawin ko anong gusto ko. Parang I really didn't care much about my studies. Kaya nagalit yung magulang ko sa akin eh. It was supposed to be parang subok lang tayo triathlon. Parang nagka-place ata ako nun. I enjoyed it. Parang being competitive was very natural for me. I can run fast. I can go head-to-head with these elite athletes dati nung nagsisimula ako. So, because of that, you know what? Nagkaroon ako ng confidence sa sarili ko that maybe this is something for me. So, yun yung ginawa ko. I trained and trained 3 times a day. No, I was blessed din with a coach na talagang pinush ako. Yeah. Yun yung nangyari dun. Then, umikot dun yung mundo ko, buong college. Wala akong ginawa kundi mag-training araw-araw. Then, di ko nga alam kung paano ako nakagraduate ng college eh. To the point pare na sabi sa akin ng nanay ko, ang prayers niya, makapasa lang ako, makagraduate lang ako ng college, gawin ko na yung triathlon buong buhay ko. Diba? Pero yeah, iba yung plano niya para sa akin eh, and that's why I'm here.
Sabi nga nila, sabi namin, if mahirap na yung bike in itself, 100 plus kilometers ba yun sa triathlon or 80?
Nag-iba yung distance. I think you are pertaining to the Ironman event. Yung Ironman. 90 to 100.
Mahirap na to begin with yung cycling. Tapos lalagyan mo pa ng 2 pang sport in the same, so to become
sa
a
isang
triathlete,
event, diba?
you must be that crazy.
And
para
you
gawin
hated
yun.
running. You hated running.
Hindi ko pa ginawa ang triathlon. Pero
Malapit
in-invite ako
na.
ng friend ko
Oh.
sa triathlon. Siguro pag-graduate ko na ng
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 residency.
residency. Saka ako na itatry.
And alam mo ang mahirap dyan sa triathlon? I think for most of us, hindi tayo swimmer eh. I think you can survive running, you can survive cycling,
yeah.
but not the swim. Kailangan meron kang dedicated coach talaga dyan na mag-guide sa'yo paano yung tama. Otherwise, di mo siya matapos eh. So, that's the limiting factor for a lot of people into getting into triathlon.
So ano yung longest na like distance na nagawa?
I did Ironman 70.3. Yan yung half. Yan yung sasabi mo 90 kilometers, 21 kilometers, and 1.9 ata? Or 1.9 kilometers swim. No? Yeah. Pero ang specialty ko noon, ang paborito ko sinasalihan noon was the standard distance. The sprint and standard distance.
Anong ibig sabihin nun? Sorry.
'Di ba yung triathlon, yung Ironman, meron yung 1.9k swim, 90 kilometers bike, 21 kilometers run. The standard distance, yun din yung tinatawag nilang Olympic distance kasi yun yung race sa Olympics. It's 1.5 kilometers swim, 40 kilometers bike, and 10 kilometers run. Ngayon, yung sprint doon, divide mo into 2 lang yun. So, 750 swim, 20 kilometers bike, 5 kilometers run. Alam mo yun?
So, speed. Yung like talagang speed.
Yun yung speed. Yun yung,
all-out speed.
Doon ako nag-focus noon nung active ako sa triathlon. I did the sprint and at times the standard distance. But never the Ironman. Hindi yun yung forte ko that time eh.
Any realizations nung nag-triathlon ka?
Ngayon, looking back, pare, you know what? Because of that sport, because of triathlon, ganito ako. Kung tanggalin mo kung wala yun, kung hindi ako naging triathlete, I won't be like this. I won't have the discipline, no? Hindi mo alam. Because of triathlon, nagkaroon ako ng confidence sa sarili ko na dati wala ako eh. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, mahihain ako dati. But because of that, because of my achievements, you know what? Syempre meron kang achievement eh. Araw-araw pinupush mo sarili mo.
May wins ka.
Meron ka wins eh. And then you need those proof para maging confident ka. Hindi ang hirap naman yung maging confident ka tas basis mo lang is delusion.
Yeah.
At kailangan mo lang ng proof eh. Kailangan you need these small wins. And I'm fortunate enough to have enough of those wins from doing triathlon na hanggang ngayon dala-dala ko dito sa pagnenegosyo, kaya naging doktor din ako. And basically, sobrang binago nung sport na yun yung buhay ko.
Actually, nag-cycling ako before, di ba? Sabi ko.
Yeah, yung cycling.
So, nag-ODAX kami with my coach ng Muay Thai.
100 kilometers ba to?
Hindi, ano siya, may 200, 300, 400, and 600. So, yung ODAX kasi, it's a long distance
Endurance.
cycling event, endurance event. So, yung distances na yun, if you complete yung 4 na distances na yun, you're gonna be called an super randonneur. So, pag naging super randonneur ka, completing all those distances, within a year, dapat, may season eh. Super randonneur ka for the season.
Okay.
So, may medals yun and all. Tapos, pwede ka mag-cycling sa ibang bansa.
That's nice. Pero bago ka mag-cycling sa ibang bansa, you have to
You have to complete the whole thing.
Crazy. And then in distance? 200.
200, 300, 400, and 600. So,
600?
600.
Wow, pare. Hindi ko.
Ang realization ko dun, ang maganda sa mga sports pala, dahil pinapahirap ka nila sa training, pinapahirap ka ng events na yun.
Yeah.
Yung hardship pala na yun na yung standard mo ng hard.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Na-realize mo ba yun?
Mm-hmm.
Yun yung standard mo ng hard. Pero still, the hardest sa akin sa buong buhay ko is the PLE. Sobrang hirap sa akin ng PLE.
Yung PLE? Wow.
PLE season. Pero I think yung sa sports, yun yung nabe-benefit niya sa akin na parang, dati nga, gumigising ako ng ganitong oras, nagte-training ako.
Yeah.
Ano pa ba yung
Ano pa?
internship? Ano pa ba yung like duty?
Yeah.
Diba?
Uh-huh.
I think yun yung learning ko sa sports. Nagawa ko nga yun eh. Paano pa kaya to?
Paano pa kaya to? Yeah,
Nagawa ko nga yung PLE eh. Paano pa kaya to?
So nakikita mo yung importance of sports, no?
Yeah.
Sobrang
Sobrang
laking tulong. Yeah.
I think yun yung gusto kong impart sa anak ko din. Na
For sure.
mag-sports
Yeah.
talaga siya for sure.
For sure. Kailangan, pag ako rin nagkaroon ng baby, papersahin ko. Di pa siya marunong maglakad, mag-hike na kami.
Ang dami. So, nag-triathlon ka. Then, yung championship mo sa duathlon.
Yeah.
Saan daw? Share mo yung story mo.
Hindi ko na maalala eh. I think sa Clark to ginawa. It was a race with my teammates, no? We're training under the same coach, si Coach Kevin, no? And I think, you know what? I was not supposed to win that race eh. For so long, alam mo pare, recently ko lang na-realize, pinaalala sa akin ni Facebook na I won that race. But because I won that race because yung first two teammates ko na nauna, they were supposed to win. Parang I think na-aksidente. I don't know what happened eh. Hindi ko na maalala. And hindi ko siya tinake as a win talaga. Kasi para sa akin, it's unfair. This win is supposed to be theirs, not mine. And kaya ako nanalo because meron nangyari sa kanila. I think, not sure kung na-aksidente or na DQ, I don't know. I cannot
Pero
really remember.
a win
A win is a win. Ngayon ko lang na-realize eh. I didn't give myself that grace of, alam mo yun, never siya tumatak sa isip ko that I was a duathlon champion. Na-realize ko lang yan pare last year after passing the PLE. Pinaalala sa akin ni Facebook na nanalo ako parang 7 years ago that I won that race. And looking back right now, maybe it's time to savor that win na hindi ko man lang kinonsider ni minsan. Hindi ko siya naalala. Like para sa akin, as in wala akong memory of winning that race. And like looking back right now, I felt happy, satisfied na finally, alam mo yun, for so long, pinangarap kong manalo ng national championship race.
National pala yun nga.
I won that event, yeah.
So, ano yun, age group ba yun?
I was under the elite category. There's the standard, naalala mo sinabi ko sa'yo, there's standard distance for duathlon. Iba yung elite dun. I was on the sprint roster. Yun yung category ko, sprint elite. tinignan ko yung picture kasi I want to make sure eh. Pinaalala sa akin ni Facebook, so chinek ko yung result dati. Wow, okay. Pangalan ko nga yung una doon, Elite, then my name. Yeah, and yes.
What began as a small pediatric clinic has now grown into a dedicated space for healing. From one doctor to a team. From serving children, parents, and even grandparents. For 25 years, we've watched families grow, and now it's time we grow with them. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic, our foundation is built on values that define how we care, how we lead, and how we grow. We lead with compassion, we strive with excellence, and we embrace innovation. Our vision moving forward is to become your family's one-stop healthcare partner, a clinic built around your life. These are more than words, they are who we are. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ellen P. de Guzman.
I'm Mylene Medrano Kilang.
I'm Dr. Christine Campos Escalona.
Dr. Iverson S. Cruz.
And I am Dr. Minerva B. Malilin, your trusted pediatrician.
Our vision is to be a trusted, family-oriented, multi-specialty clinic known for quality of service, patient-oriented care across all ages. Because your health matters at every age and every season. Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic. Healthcare that grows with you.
And then,
I felt proud.
pumunta ka sa, kailan ka nag-Muay Thai?
Muay Thai, yeah. Yung Muay Thai, I started with Jiu-Jitsu nung clerkship. Then eventually, sabi ko, maybe I wanna try Muay Thai. Then I trained for, for almost a year, no? Then, yeah, sabi ko, you know what? Having experienced triathlon and Muay Thai, for me, mas mahirap ang Muay Thai eh. Ibang, at least for me, yung feeling na alam mong masusuntok ka, it takes a lot of, control and willpower to get inside the ring, and then alam mong masusuntok ka, but alam mo, it taught me a lot about iba yung lessons niya with triathlon and combat sports. And eventually I realized na kailangan talaga ang combat sports din.
So you fought din?
Yeah, lumaban din ako. Ang kalaban ko pare, it was my first amateur fight. Ang kalaban ko was it was a grassroots event for a potential athlete na ipapadala nila sa SEA Games. So imagine, pinaglaruan ako. TKO.
TKO ka?
but it was a good experience.
Imagine naman yung like confidence and yung willpower mo to be inside the ring versus
grabe,
someone
pare.
Ipapadala sa SEA Games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. As in, pass.
Yung sinusuot niya that time was parang SEA Games short. Come on. But you know what? I was proud of that effort, but definitely sabi ko sarili ko, this is not going to be my last, no. Iba yung challenge siya sa mentally. Iba siya sa triathlon. Sa triathlon, you are focused on your
time.
Yung tapusin ko lang. I just have to finish this. Doon, alam mong masusuntok ka, alam mong masasaktan ka, but you have to do something about it. Kasi pag hinayaan mo yung kalaban mo, bubugbugin ka, alam mo yan. And you know what, sabi mo nga, yung all these hard things na ginagawa natin, na tinuturo sa atin ng sports, it molds you. Diba? And para sa akin, ang gandang experience.
Sarap, no?
Sarap.
Ang pinakamahirap na experience sa Muay Thai was the making the weight. Making the weight was the worst.
That was hard. That was hard, pare.
Diba?
You know what, nung few minutes before the race, I was 1 kilo. I think mga 500. 0.5 above dun sa limit, no. So wala akong ginagawa, parang for 1 hour I was wearing all this sauna suit, and I was doing jumping jacks, no, just to lose weight. And eventually pero sobrang tuyo. Alam mo yun, sobrang hina mo.
Sobrang tuyo. Sobrang tuyo. Pero ang ganda ng katawan mo eh.
Ganda ng katawan mo.
Ang ganda ng katawan mo.
Pero ang hirap pare, panghirap.
Sobrang hirap nun.
Wow, yeah.
Yung 1 week into the fight,
yung pabawas na
yung
yung
pabawas ka,
calories
yung
mo.
water. Hindi ko alam kung nag-water fast ka naman.
Nag-water. Ay,
Ah,
hindi
water-
naman water fast, pero like, pabawas din.
Pabawas?
Yeah. So, parang
Sama.
ako, parang kunwari, 2,000 yung calories mo. Pakonti ng pakonti until the fight day. Ako kasi, I'm just 5'4". So,
Yeah.
ako, I was a chunky 5'4". So, medyo,
So, ano mo? Ano
ang
weight
fight
mo nun?
weight ko dapat was
55.
63 kilos.
63?
So, that was, I don't know, 135 ba yun?
Yeah. Mga ganyan.
Gusto ganun ko kapayat noon. Grabe.
Grabe.
So, kailangan mo kasi
It was hard.
mag-decrease ng weight, di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
matatangkad yung kalaban mo.
Malalaki pa, yeah.
At 135, matangkad pa rin yung kalaban ko.
Yeah, nung sabi mo sa yung 63, for sure, mga kalaban mo niyan, malalaki.
Malaki pa rin siya.
Malalaki, yeah.
So, kailangan ko i-lose yun. Ang walking weight ko,
Dito sa height natin, kailangan nasa 55 tayo.
125, no?
Yeah, mga 125.
Yeah,
Yeah,
125
dapat.
So,
Wow.
yun. Kailangan ko siya i-lose. Ang walking weight ko was 155.
Oh my God.
So, trinay ko yung i-lose.
Laki nun.
Ang laki nun. And, day before the fight, ang weight ko pa lang was 145. Ay, hindi naman day. Siguro mga week before the fight.
Yeah.
2 days, 1 day before the fight, parang may 10 pounds pa ata ako.
Ang
It was
laki
crazy.
nun.
Ang laki nun. Hindi ko rin alam paano ko ginawa.
Pero nabot mo yung ano?
ang
yung weight
nangyari
mo nun?
was, naka-sauna suit. Same
Mhm.
sa'yo.
Yeah.
Naka-sauna suit, naka-jacket, and another sauna suit in the jacket. Parang 4 ata na layer. Kasi ikot kami sa school namin. Tatakbo kami 2
Tatakbo ka.
rounds ng 5 kilometers.
Pinakaayaw mo pa gawin.
Tapos yung sobrang pawis na pawis ka. Pero magugulat ka, what?
Effective.
I lost all those
Di ba,
weight?
di ba pare? Gulat. Effective pala yung ano na yan, yung cutting na yan, no? Pero sobrang tayo ka, sobrang payat mo. Hindi ko alam kung naranasan mo, nanghihina ka.
Nanghihina ka talaga.
Nahilo na.
Parang may brain fog ka.
brain fog, yeah.
Tapos parang sobrang in the zone ka na.
Mhm.
Pero hindi ko kayang lumaban ng ganun eh.
Yeah.
Na ganung experience. Pero yung best meal mo was after
After the fight.
after
After
the
the fight. Wow.
after the weight cut. Yung
After the
best
weight cut.
meal-
After the weight cut. Yeah. Kailangan eh. That's
Yeah, it's a
nice.
fun experience, no?
Yeah. Wow, grabe. Nakakatawa. Looking back, no?
So,
Tumatakbo ako, tanghali, 2
tanghaling
p.m. Para lang mag-lose ng weight. Wow.
pero grabe, nakakatuwa na nagawa natin yun, no?
Yeah.
Parang, it's an experience
And
talaga.
you know what? I think a lot of guys should, at least once in their life, pumasok sa ring and actually fight and have that feeling. And you know what? A lot of being in the ring will humble a lot of people. You know what? And they will realize na, tangina, hindi pala ako marunong lumaban. Akala ko, susuntok-suntok lang ako. Iba pala.
Hindi
Iba
siya
pala.
joke, no?
Hindi siya joke. And yeah. And you know what? I had this impression before na kapag fighter ka, mayabang ka. You know what? Yung mga fighter dun sa gym, yung mga kaibigan ko dun, they are one of the nicest guys. You know, at yan yung tipong hindi yan mag-amok sa labas. No?
Gentle giants.
Yeah,
and all,
gentle
no?
giants. Pero pag nakipag-sparring ka, bugbog ka.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Actually, yung coach ko in college was a 35 na ata siya to 40s nun. Wala siyang bisyo, wala siyang everything. He teaches Muay Thai, tapos nagbabike pa siya and all. As in, walang kahit anong bisyo. Hindi siya umiinom, hindi siya nagsisigarilyo and all. Tapos father din siya. Parang sobrang bilib ako sa mga ganong personalities eh. Nakaka-inspire din sila. And tama yung sinabi mo na yung fighter, sila pa yung calm and may composure. No?
Yeah.
after, so kailan ka nag-Muay Thai ba?
I think during internship pa to, clerk. Internship. Last year.
So, Jiu-Jitsu muna, then
Jiu-Jitsu,
Muay
then
Thai.
nag-focus sa Muay Thai. Really
So,
enjoyed that.
nung PLE, medyo
Wala na.
Nawala na.
I tried nung first few weeks after during yung last part of internship. Pero nawala na eh. Kailangan mag-focus. Yeah.
Naalala ko kasi yung videos mo dati na
Ay,
pinanood ko
yung mga sparring videos
sparring
ko.
ka, tapos papasok ka sa internship.
Sa duty,
Sa
yeah.
duty.
Wow.
Tapos naka-BRZ ka pa nun.
Yeah.
Do you still have that BRZ?
I still have that car. Sabi ko, hindi ko papalitan to sa akin. You know what? Alam mo, because that car, yan yung motivation ko dati. Alam mo yun, I was young, bata ako, I have nothing to lose. Might as well, bilhin ko yung dream car ko.
So you bought your own BRZ?
I bought my own BRC. Yeah, and you know what? I'm super proud of that. Initially, it was red na-aksidente. Binili ng insurance, I had to buy another
Talaga?
silver car na. Silver na siya ngayon.
Red yung BRZ ko dati.
Red BRZ. And pare, come on. BRZ. Ano ba kulay ng BRZ?
Red. Ay, blue.
Blue. So, sa mga car meet, lahat naka-blue. Ikaw lang yung red. Ikaw lang yung pula doon. Wow.
Ang gusto kong original color was white.
Oh,
Kasi nga, syempre, Dr. White.
Not as
Mahilig
loud.
ako, not as loud.
Mm.
Tapos sabi nung dealership, may red po na available. Tapos na-realize ko, ganito naman yung kotse. Bakit ka mag-white? So might as well get the red one. So,
Para sports car.
Pero I didn't buy it. My parents gave it to me.
Yeah. Hanggang ngayon,
during
kasi pa?
residency. Ay, during med school
Med
nila
school.
binigay. Sa
Wow. So, para sa Ateneo na nakapulang sports car.
Nahiya ako eh.
Nahiya ka ba nun?
Kasi, wala nahiya lang ako. I just wanted the car.
Mm.
Kasi ang ganda niya. Ang sarap niyang i-drive.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the best
One
riding.
of the best, yeah.
Oo.
Mhm.
Pero I don't have it na. I sold it.
Oh,
Kasi bumili ako ng SUV.
SUV. And then, sabi mo nga, like, you have a kid na rin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Na-realize ko kasi nung may BRZ ako, ang hirap ng masikip siya eh.
Yeah.
Masikip siya if you think about it.
You know what? Yan ang problema ko dyan sa BRZ na yan eh. It's fun to drive, no? Na, manual ka sa akin, so I get to change gears. Lalo pag bibigyan mo, tatapakan mo talaga yung silinyador. Sarap. Pero, every time na lilipat ako doon sa Hilux ng AirPod ko, pare, it's sobrang sarap na SUV. It's night and day, no?
Di ba?
Yung BRZ, very raw. Tapos sasakay ka dito, very spacious. Hindi ka nahihirapan sumakay, lumabas ng sakyan. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, eventually I have to buy an SUV, especially kung meron ako family. But right now, habang bata ako, habang kaya ng tuhod, ng likod, enjoy mo muna.
Yes, enjoy mo.
Yeah.
In-enjoy ko super yung BRZ ko.
Nice, dapat.
Siguro naka 25k kilometers.
Oh,
din
pare,
ako.
yung sa akin, 20k na. Malapit na.
20k na.
Gamit na gamit.
Inuwi ko pa yan sa Tugigaraw.
Sarap.
Ang maganda kasi sa BRZ, yung height nung akin was not
Safe.
too low.
Yeah.
So safe siya. So kaya mo siyang
Kahit lubak
iuwi
konti.
talaga. Kahit lubak.
Yeah.
So sa Santa Fe, I'm not sure
Santa
if
Fe.
familiar ka.
Pare, taga Santiago ako.
Ay,
Santiago Isabel. Pares tayo taga Norte.
So homegrown pala talaga.
Santa Fe, no? Tapos ang alis mo sa Maynila, mga gabi na para madaling araw na Santa Fe ka. Solo mo yun.
Sinasolo ko yun.
Sarap.
Pandemic, bro.
Wow.
Pandemic
pa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, nadala ko siya sa Santa Fe. Dala ko siya Tugigaraw. I think mga twice. Nadala ko siya sa Clark.
Oh.
Na Speedway man.
Hindi pa. Pero,
kailangan mo experience yung Speedway.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the scariest na drive mo sa Speedway.
Yeah.
Not because feeling mo iikot ka, but yung other kasama mo kasi. Kasi di ba mag-run kayo?
Na kahit hindi pa sports car, no?
Hindi, lahat kasi BRZ nun.
Naka-BRZ. Oh, BRZ
lahat
lahat.
BRZ Toyota 86 sila.
Oh, nice.
So nakakatakot na bigla kang umikot doon, matatamaan
Meron
mo pa
matatamaan.
yung ano. But it's the safest place na
Pwede
bilisan
mong
mo.
gawin yan.
Yeah.
Oo. Yeah.
So you have to try bring
yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Medyo sa akin, hindi, I bought the BRZ for the driving experience. Na hindi racing para bihisan.
Oo.
Although maganda siya, no? I liked it. But I bought it for the driving experience.
Sobrang the best, no? The driving experience.
Yeah, the best. Alam mo kung kailan ko na-realize, naalala mo yung pandemic, 'di ba? Ganun din ako. Yung AirPod ko, lagi ako yung pinagmamaneho niya ng L300 kasi meron silang pharma company. So ako yung pinagmamaneho niya from Manila to Santiago ng L300. And you know what, pare, kahit L300 yun, ang sarap lang magmaneho. Then I realized maybe gusto ko enjoy, nakaka-relax pala mag-drive. Tapos manual pa. From there I realized na, you know what, gusto ko magkaroon ng BRZ. Gusto ko magkaroon ng sports car for the driving experience.
Ako naman, finish ko yung BRZ kasi nung nagmo-Montero pa lang ako noon, parang lagi kong gustong medyo mabilis. Corners and all. Tapos yun, nagustuhan ko yung BRZ, yung design, yung talaga. Riding experience. So, nung pandemic, pag umuwi ako ng Tugigaraw, dinadrive ko siya.
Sarap.
12 hours.
I don't care.
Of driving. Tapos may podcast lang ako na pinapakinggan. Na-download lang ako ng like 4 or 5 podcasts.
Yeah.
Tapos naka-play lang yun. Tapos magdadrive ako.
Sumato.
Pero hindi ako manual automatic ako.
Naka-paddle naman yan eh. Yeah.
Nagmo-mods ka din ba?
Hindi. Yung sakyan na yan, ang mod lang niya yung yellow Brembo. You know why?
Why?
Bakit nilagyan ko ng yellow Brembo yung BRZ? Kasi ang dream car ko GT3. And yung in-screenshot ko sa laptop ko, pare. Ito sa chalk white na GT3 na merong yellow na
na Brembo.
Yellow na brakes, yung Porsche carbon ceramics nila. Yun yung in-screenshot ko. Sabi ko, gusto ko magkaroon nito. And the closest thing that I can get is yung BRZ na may yellow Brembo. yan yung araw-araw kong so magkakape ako. Kakain ako dyan sa dim sum treat sa Dapitan. Titi ako yung BRZ. Tangina, parang Porsche lang
Ang sarap doon. Like, picture mo. I-appreciate mo siya.
Appreciate mo lang.
Upo ka lang sa coffee shop. Nakikita mo yung car mo. I really miss my BRZ. As in, yung pinaka-proudest moment ko lang. Okay, since nabili ng parents ko yun, ako yung nag-mod.
Oh,
so yung
lahat ng luho mo dyan, mahal yun eh.
Yung crypto gains ko nun, doon napunta. So, bumili ako ng Volk race ko.
Wow.
Bili ka ng Volk race. Bumili ka ng exhaust. Bumili ka intake and all.
Oh yeah, naka-exhaust naman. I think masyado tahimik sa natin pag without the exhaust. Yeah.
So, sabi ko sa'yo, ang dami nating similarities. And apparently, taga Santiago ka pala. 2 hours away lang. Yeah, so homegrown, bro.
Alam mo, dala ko ngayon. Pwede nating testing eh.
So anyway, yung BRZ na yun was you bought it yourself?
Yeah. From live selling. Yan yung very active ako sa live selling. I can easily do 100,000. 6 digits pataas.
And you were selling?
Wallets.
So eto na. So we're transitioning na to the beginning story of Walex. So where did the idea come from and bakit wallet? Like out of nowhere, bakit wallet and Walex?
Yeah. You know what? It all started from a personal need. Ako lang. Ayoko ng bifold wallet. Parang nagising ka lang, naghanap ka ng wallet na ang taba-taba ng wallet ko noon, the classic leather bifold wallet, no. Then nag-search ako sa Shopee. Wala, lahat leather bifold. So sabi ko, okay. Hanap ako sa abroad, hanap ako sa ibang bansa ng kung ano yung meron doon. Then meron ako nakitang model. Pwede ko pakita.
Oo naman, pwede.
Yeah. So, meron ako nakitang ganito. Ganito siya. Yeah. This is our newest product. Yeah.
And this is?
That's Walex S. Yan yung card holder namin.
Okay.
This is the titanium. No? But basically, ganito yung nakita ko. And it's not available in the Philippines. Sabi ko, bakit ganun? And then, you know what? Gusto ko magkaroon, pero wala. It's... Yeah. Gusto ko magkaroon, pero... Walang nagbebenta dito. So, naghanap ako ng supplier sa China.
Dami mo ng cards.
Yeah. Naghanap ako ng supplier. Para lang sa sarili ko. I was not planning on starting anything, a business. Nag-order ako, I think I got 2. Then, pagdating sa akin, pinicturan ko. And dito nagbago lahat. Nung pinost ko yung first story nung sample product na yun, meron nag-message sa akin, nagtatanong how much. And I was not even planning on selling it. Like, para lang sa akin. Okay? Pinicturan ko yung wallet kasi nagkataon na pinalagyan ko logo. Pero pare wala akong planong ibenta. Parang I was just having fun. Testingin nga natin to. Pinost ko sa IG. Meron nag-message asking kung saan nila mabibili tong wallet na to. Then that was my sign. Oh, shit. Kung meron nagtatanong, how much more kung mas marami makakita nito? Then dun nagsimula, okay, maybe there is a market for this. Then, you know what? Yan na. It changed my life.
So, nakahanap ka sa China ng supplier.
Yeah, nakahanap ako sa China ng supplier.
Paano mo na nagawa yung design and all? Pinagawa mo siya?
I just simply asked them. 'Di ba sabi ko sa'yo, meron ako nakitang wallet sa ibang bansa na hindi available dito. So pinakita ko sa kanya. Do you have this wallet? Yes, we have. Then I was playing around kasi murang-mura eh. Significantly cheaper than kung magkano yung nasa website nung nakita ko sa US, no? It was a US, no? Tapos, sige nga, lagyan natin ng logo.
Yung name na yun, na coin mo na yung Walex?
Oh, no. Hindi siya Walex before.
Ano siya before?
During that time, I was an athlete pa. No, actively doing triathlon pa ako that time. So ang pangalan niya was St. Moritz. St. Moritz, this is a place in Switzerland where elite athletes train. Like yung mga idol ko na elite triathlete, mga Olympic champions, mga runners na idol ko, they all train there sa St. Moritz, no. So sabi ko, ganda pangalan na. So nilagay ko dito. Yun pa yung pangalan niya. It was not Walex. Then yun yung pangalan niya, St. Moritz. Then
So how did you decide to finally change it to Walex?
To Walex? Okay, ganito yung kwento niyan. Nung St. Moritz, hindi ko siya pinag-isipan, no? Kumita lang ng konti from posting it. Because of St. Moritz, I learned how to run ads. I got a few samples from my supplier. I ran ads, Facebook ads. Nagtayo ako ng website.
Okay.
All because of that brand of St. Moritz. Then alam mo yun, nagsisimula ka sa negosyo, wala ka naman background sa business. So ang feeling ko nun, marami ako pera. Ang dami ko pera, kumikita ako. Hindi ko na-realize pare, meron ka palang babayarang credit card, may babayaran ka palang supplies. So alam mo yun, lugi pa ako. So eventually I had to close down St. Moritz. In-stop ko yung mga ads, yung pagbebenta generally na tinigil ko kasi lugi ako. I was paying more. Akala ko kumikita ako. Wala akong ka-background sa negosyo eh. Parang ginawa ko lang to as a hobby and somehow it worked. Then,
Natatawa ako kasi naalala ko yung self ko eh.
Yung sa'yo,
So,
bakit?
ganyan din ako nun eh. Ganyan. Tapos.
Yeah, and you know what? Natigil. Natigil siya. Pero, 'di ba? Because of that business, because of that experience, natutunan ko paano mag-design ng website. I learned how to run my own Facebook ads. I had to. Paano ka kikita, no? So all these skills eventually stocked up. Pagdating ng med school, nag-pandemic, nung bandang second year to third year, I think mas nagkaroon ako ng time, no? And sabi mo nga, pag marami ka time, there's this itch na parang I have to do something, no? Then I decided to launch si St. Moritz. But this time, binago ko pangalan. Because during that time, nag-skyrocket yung SpaceX. Yung stocks ni Elon Musk. Idol ko kasi siya.
2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nag-skyrocket. SpaceX. Wallet. Ba't kaya di ko palitan yung wallet ng T? Yung T doon ng X. Walex. Then before I decided on Walex, alam mo una akong ginawa pare? Punta ako sa IPO. Trademark ko agad. Trademark kasi it's a good name. Walex. Sabi ko, ang ganda pangalan na. Trademark natin. So pare, wala pang Walex noon. Wala pa akong website, wala pa akong Facebook page na Walex. Naka-trademark na siya.
Speaking of trademark, hindi pala ako nag-trademark.
Yan yung kapag nagnenegosyo ka, parang sarap lang, achievement.
Ang galing.
Yeah, and you know what, pare? Sobrang proud ako dun. Yung ano, wow, naka-trademark. Sa yung Walex, search mo sa IPO. Naka-trademark yun sa pangalan ko. I was very proud of that moment. No? Kahit wala pang bumibili nung Walex. Yeah, that's the reason why St. Moritz naging Walex. That's the story.
Ganda na story, ah.
Because of SpaceX.
Elon Musk story pala
Elon
siya.
Musk, ginaya ko. Yeah.
So, nung time na yun, paano mo ginawa yung website?
Ooh.
Wala pang AI nun na could easily
Yeah.
help you.
You know what? Akala ko, para makagawa ka ng website, akala ko kailangan alam mo mag-code.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's this app, parang it's just a simple drag and drop. It's called Shopify. You can select a theme, then from there, drag and drop ka lang. Change the logo, and drop your item, upload your item, then sila na bahala. Yan, but yeah, since then, marami na akong natutunan, and especially because of AI can actually write codes na sa website. And sila yung website namin ngayon, big part of it is yung kung ano itsura niya because of AI.
I saw.
Yeah.
Claude
Yeah,
ba?
Claude.
Yeah. Nung time na yan, I would say, you were there at the right time, no? Kasi pandemic, that was the boom ng dropshipping,
Yeah.
Shopify. I was also trying to study Shopify, dropshipping, B2B na supplier from
Yeah.
Alibaba.
From Alibaba,
and all.
no? Yeah. Pero you know what? Kung ano yung what really changed the trajectory of Walex, it's TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop, pare.
Yun din.
You know what? Sabi ko sarili ko, never ako harap ng camera. Never akong magla-live selling. Kasi during that time, I had this, ang impression ko sa live selling, parang forcing.
Parang nakakahiya.
Parang nakakaya.
Parang ganun.
Nagbebenta ka, nagmamakaawa ka na bumili sila sa'yo. Pare, I tried it one time. Sold out almost half of my products. I tried it sa kwarto ko. Kita pa yung mga medals ko, mga race bib ko sa likod. I was doing live selling. Yung camera ko nasa gilid lang. Then I was just showing the camera. Pare, sunod-sunod yung orders. Then, instantly, in less than a year since trying live selling, nakabili ako ng BRZ.
Ang galing. Ang galing.
Wow.
Good job, man.
And
As in,
a big part of it was luck, no? Na timingan ko. Wala pa nagbebenta nun, kami lang. Basically, walang competitors. Yung mga products namin, yeah. Nakakatuwa.
yeah. So, may isang creator kasi I think from the US na sinasabi niya na the future of content creation is live selling because of the authenticity. So,
Yeah.
people are looking for people na live na nagbebenta and then you have questions and all.
Yeah.
Tapos, yeah, more of the authenticity because it's live.
Yeah.
And then you can easily
Ask questions.
Yeah, or
everything.
drop an order.
Yeah.
So, he thinks na live sell. I would live sell sa totoo lang. If I had the right product, it was your best feeling ko, best decision to do that.
Yeah. And nakakatuwa kasi sinubukan ko lang and again yung this experience because of that sinubukan lang. You know what, ang ano ko sa buhay ngayon is I have to try this. Pag meron ako nakuhang idea, I just have to try this. Wala nang mawawala eh. Because I learned that from doing live selling na in the first place, hindi ko naman gagawin.
Yeah.
But somehow it changed the trajectory of my life of Walex.
Yeah. So,
Nakakatuwa.
try mo kaya submit sa Shark Tank. So, nung time na yon, this was after the pandemic na nung medyo nagsasucceed na siya.
Yeah. I think medyo nagre-recover na mga bandang 2022 na. I think meron pang mga ilan na, di ba, ang dami din ng modification sa lockdown. Meron pang mga ganun eh. But I was doing live selling na.
Okay.
I was doing live selling na. This was the time na yung mga big companies, big brands, pare wala pa sila doon sa live selling. Wala pa sila sa TikTok shop.
Yeah, wala pa yun.
I think gusto ko sabihin na I was a few years ahead of them.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah. Sobrang binago nun yung Grabe.
Feeling ko nakikita na kita noong time na yun. Yun nga yun eh, di ba? Yung Muay Thai and internship times mo, 2022, 23.
Yung Muay Thai 2024, 2025.
Ah, 2025.
Meron pa yun.
Pero may stories ka na noon ng Walex, di ba?
Yeah. Because of that, I started documenting rin my journey with Walex. Yeah.
And I think maganda rin yung ginawa mo na yun kasi people now and then are looking for a figurehead sa business.
Yeah.
Kasi yung mga CEOs ngayon, they are showing up.
Nasabi mo yung CEO. You know what? Ayoko tinatawag na CEO eh. I have this negative connotation about calling yourself a CEO. Parang I don't know. I just don't like calling myself a CEO. I prefer parang founder na parang talagang building something instead of just having this title just because. Just because I'm a CEO. No, I don't want. I want to build something. More like a founder and sharing my stories, showing people the good, the bad, the decisions behind it. And you know what, sabi mo nga, ang future ngayon is yung mga apps na ganito. Sa panahon ngayon, as long as you can remain authentic sa contents mo, just be you, share your ideas, your thought processes, yung mga pananaw mo that other people might pwedeng i-bash ka, no? As long as you remain authentic, eventually you will find your people. You will build your tribe. And and you know what? By being authentic online, this is leverage. You know what? Eventually, kung maraming makakilala sa'yo, maraming makakapanood sa'yo because the amount of value that you share consistently, you know what? Kung meron ako itatayong business, I know just because I have built somehow I'd like to think na parang I've built a personal brand but malayo pa dun. But yeah, I have this credibility, this trust factor na whatever I build, I can leverage my social media accounts. Yeah, it's nice.
I think in your future of all businesses, like having a
your founder,
diba? Like the founder and also the founder and yung figure talaga.
Yeah.
Na-realize ko din yun lately eh. When we were starting yung multi-specialty clinic namin, parang we were not in social media as much. Parang meron. I started yung page ng clinic namin, which was a 25-year clinic. Noong 2019 lang.
Wow.
2018. Kasi Facebook, pandemic. Tapos, feeling ko, kailangan namin magkaroon ng social media account. Kailangan namin ng avenue para yung patients namin ma-message, makapag-schedule, makikita kami, ma-promote kami and all. And pag sinearch mo yung clinic name, lalabas siya.
Yeah.
So in Tugigaraw, may clinic na Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's when I realized na social media has a vital role sa business mo or sa clinic mo as a doctor.
Yeah.
Diba? And you can see now mga doctors din, a lot of them are in social media. Showing how the life of a doctor is or ano.
Meron pang mga nag-trending dyan that even I think meron ako nakita minsan na parang nag-surgery. Na I think na-bash yun. Nagla-live pare habang nag-surgery. I mean but basically kapag nasa social media ka, you have this leverage na pwede mong i-utilize. This is leverage.
Parang hindi na nga lang money ang power eh. For me, ang power now is your influence.
Your influence,
Diba? Parang gano'n. Hindi naman yung social media likes or followers, but your community.
Yeah.
Parang yun. Yun ang na-realize ko lately. So, I think important yun. So, sa'yo naman, are you focused on TikTok or like Facebook or Instagram?
Recently lang ako nag-upload sa Instagram and Facebook because andun yung friends, family ko. So parang the thought of them seeing my videos, just speaking my whatever I have in mind, no, parang it bothers me na nakikita nila. But sabi ko, wala. Ano ba reason why I'm doing this? I want to reach people and hopefully inspire them with my story, with my mindset. Just build a personal brand din para sa sarili ko kasi alam ko this is something na kapag na build ko, sabi ko nga sa'yo, this is leverage eh. para sa future mo. So, yeah. And you know what? Sharing my story, sharing my lessons, and meron kang mga makikitang comment doon na parang nagpapasalamat. There are people who's saying thank you, sharing their, there's this med student from your school na message ako asking for help about her business. And you know what? I felt privileged to be able to help her, to give advice para i-look up ka ng isang tao and ask for your advice. I think it's napakasarap sa pakiramdam that you can inspire them and alam mo yun, ma-motivate mo sila and help them. Nakakatuwa. And sabi ko sarili ko at this point in my life na komportable ako, mas I value this more than the money. Yung mga ganito, inspiring people. It feels good, pare. Yeah.
I agree. Ganun din yung mindset ko coming into social media and content creation. Initially, I was really shy. Like, nahiya ako. Pero I post.
Yeah.
Meron akong certain accounts I post. I try to understand the algorithm.
Yeah,
Until now, I'm still understanding the algorithm and looking for my kumbaga niche or
Niche,
what.
yeah.
So I tried talking to the camera and all, ganun. Parang hindi pala yun yung niche ko. Niche ko pala is looking for a person to talk with.
Yeah.
Conversations. Parang natural siya.
Yeah.
Sharing my story and yung people, yung value na ibibigay ko is through the stories and the people na I meet.
Yeah.
So na-realize ko kasi I see a lot of digital mentors. Yun yung tinatawag nila digital mentors. So you watch them, you follow their story, you watch their siguro mga ideas nila or mga ethos nila and all.
Yeah.
So initially ganun ako. So sabi ko, I wanted to make something also that would inspire students. Kasi at that time, wala akong nakikitang wala makita.
Yeah.
Wala masyado.
I know.
At a certain set of kunwari mga medical students or wala masyado.
Yeah.
So sa Tugigaraw, wala masyadong social media people who focus on mga homegrown talent. So may gap na parang ang daming successful from our province, from Cagayan, who come home and then ina-upload sila and all, but they never really know yung story behind the success.
Exactly. And I think itong podcast mo na to, you are giving them avenue to share their stories.
Yeah.
Which in turn will inspire a lot of people.
Yeah. Yun naman yung goal
Yun
natin Apart from making myself better, kasi
of course,
yung social media content creation, it pushes you to become a better person. Kasi naiisip mo na someone is watching.
Yeah.
And since nagko-communicate ka rin with another person who's more experienced like you, marami akong natutunan from you. So parang yun yung value na dinadala niya. No?
Yeah.
Naalala ko lang sa business mo, you were personally doing all the things.
I had to. Kailangan pare. Nung nagsisimula, ikaw talaga lahat. Syempre, kumikita ka and hindi mo naman alam na what it feels like. Hindi mo alam kung kailan ka dapat mag-hire, no? But eventually, because of yung schedule, syempre, nag-aaral ka, estudyante ka, nasa med ka, postgrad, no? Eventually, kailangan mo humanap ng tao tutulong sa'yo eh. Pero bago ko gawin yan, pare, lahat ginawa ko. Ako nag-pack, ako sumagot ng questions ng customers, ako nag-drop off sa palengke, kasi andun yung drop-off station, no? Kailangan ko gawin yan habang nag-duty. There's this, I think, meron ako video dun sa TikTok ko, no? Na after our shifting exams, umuwi ako sa dorm and kailangan ko ipalala-move yung orders. Pinako from my dorm yung orders and kailangan ko ipadala kasi otherwise makakancel if not shipped within the day. I had to go through all those. But you know what? Yun yung pinakamasarap na parte. You are building something during that time and lahat ako. Nakakapagod siya isipin but kung bibigyan ako ng pagkakataon, parang mali. Hindi ko na pala gagawin. Nakapagod eh. Pero I had to go through that phase para maging, alam mo yun, mahanap ko yung mga taong magiging kasama ko na in building this business.
Pero grabe no, yung ginagawa mo yung ano. Naalala ko din yung self ko noon eh. Kasi
Sa'yo?
nagde-deliver ako noon. Dinedeliver ko yung iPad.
Oh.
Naka-BRZ.
Ikaw mismo?
Naka-BRZ na ako noon. Nagbebenta kami ng steak ng cousin ko sa condo. Sa condo may group chat sila.
Ah.
So doon ko pinopost yung yung iPad.
Yung iPad.
Taka yung mga steak and all. Tapos binibenta ko. Pag nakagather ako ng enough orders, i-deliver ko sa towers. So naka-BRZ ako, pipick upin ko yung stocks.
Punta ka sa Green Hills.
Pupunta ako Sinabi mo naman yung source eh.
Pupunta ka doon.
Punta ako Green Hills. Naka-BRZ, lalagay ko sa kotse ko, de-deliver ko per tower.
Yeah.
Tapos, yun, nakakatawa lang. Pati yung mga stock ng steak and yung sa stall namin before, yung inventory namin.
Yeah.
Pinagkakasya ko siya ng likod ng BRZ. Dun sa gulong.
Frozen goods? Yeah.
Yeah, meron akong cooler. May kakasya
Sa
siya
BRZ?
dun sa BRZ.
Okay.
Tapos nung may time
Sa
nagbebenta
gulong?
ako ng bike parts, pinagkakasya ko dun sa likod. Kasi
Doon sa gulong. O, tinatanggal mo yung gulong.
Hindi, nandun lang yung gulong.
Nandun lang yung
Kaya
gulong.
okay yung BRZ sa akin kasi kasya yung bike mo doon. Pag
Spacious,
nagbabike ka.
pare. Yeah,
Very
yeah,
spacious siya. So, memorable sa akin yung car na yun. I don't know why I sold it. Pero yeah, I missed that car.
Yeah.
And yun, naalala ko yung times na yun. And pag naalala mo siya, parang ang galing, nagawa mo yung time.
And ang sarap niya balikan, pare.
Sarap siya
You know what? I think it's never the, yung success, yung being able to, alam mo yun, mas naging komportable ka, kumikita ka sa negosyo mo. I think hindi yun eh. I think it's the journey.
Mhm.
It's all the hardship that you have to go through, the mental battles that makes it worthwhile. No, yung mga ganito.
Naalala ko pa before bakit ko ginagawa yun kasi nasa phone ka na majority of your time, di ba? Kunwari, pag nasa med school ka, may lecture kayo, nagpo-phone ka
Nagpo-phone ka.
Minsan nagpo-phone ka. So ako, instead of scrolling your phone, I was responding to customers. I was looking at the price of a crypto coin, a Filipino stock. Parang ganun yung yung mindset. Para hindi productive pa rin.
Para productive, no?
Yeah. That's what I remember.
Oh, yeah. I think yan din yung talagang pinangarap ko rin para sa sarili ko. Gusto kong i-utilize yung yung online na lahat tayo digital na. I want to earn while I'm sleeping.
Mm-mm.
No? Gusto ko yun. So, that's why siguro naisip, andito ako sa e-commerce but nasa retail. But kaya nagsimula because gusto ko yung ganun, yung kumikita ako habang natutulog.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Ako dun, pag nag-set up kami ng study before, magko-coffee shop kami. Yung coffee shop na yun, yung meet up ko with a buyer.
With your buyer.
Para, dun ako mag-aaral after. Ganun yung ginagawa ko
That's
before.
nice.
And now that you mentioned, so sabi mo nasa retail ka na. So why maganda na, successful na yung online e-commerce business mo, na-settle mo na lahat, may website ka na, may good inventory management ka na, may tao ka na din siguro, and may delivery na, kaya mo naman na ibenta online eh. Why go to retail pa?
Kasi pare, before e-commerce, before all this platform, Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, saan ba nagtatayo yung mga businesses? Retail. They start with retail. You know what? Sabi ko sa sarili ko, we maximize all our distribution channels. Meron kami website, lahat ng platforms, major platforms sa Pilipinas, meron kami. Lahat meron. So, ano pang gagawin natin? Makukontento na lang kami dito. Why not expand dun sa retail? No? Subukan natin to. You know what? Meron pa rin mga taong nabibili. Meron pa rin mga taong bibili dun sa kiosk para mga last minute purchases, especially considering our products na parang people will buy this for gifts, di ba? Yeah. So sabi ko, bakit hindi natin subukan? Ba't hindi ko subukan? So, yan yung plano ko. After passing the PLE, binuksan ko yung journal ko. Sabi ko doon, goal for 2026. Nilagay ko doon, open one kiosk. One kiosk. Only one kiosk. And yeah, so far, marami nang check yun. And we are, by the end of this year, we are going to have 6 kiosks around Metro Manila. And yeah, so far, okay naman.
Ang galing.
Yeah,
Ang
tamang
galing.
decision.
Kasi, meron ka rin palang notebook. Bro, that notebook, it works.
It works, pare. It works.
Before medical school, linagay ko lahat doon. By 27, doctor, by ganito.
Oh,
blah,
no
by-
way. No way.
Do you do that?
Yeah. Naniniwala ako dun. Kung kaya mo isulat dun, lahat ng ideas mo, everything, lagay mo lahat dun. Mga pangarap mo, if you want to have this, manifest this, lahat yan, lagay mo sa notebook. It will happen. Kasi malaking bagay yung kaya mo siyang isulat dun. Ibig sabihin, narrow yung focus mo eh. Kapag sinulat ko dito, kiosk by 2026, yung focus ko set dun. But if just dumaan lang sa isip ko, mawawala yan eh. Kasi ang dami nangyari. But yeah. Notebook, yan, journaling, it works, pare. It works.
So you were how old when you wrote yung kiosk? Med school?
Ito, yung plan
yung
ko of
goal mo.
starting retail after passing PLE.
PLE mismo.
Kasi sabi ko, ano bang gagawin ko? So, sinunulat ko lahat dun. Sinulat ko lahat ng gusto ko gawin. Climb Everest Base Camp. Start.
Parang isa din yun sa akin. Gusto ko din yun. Kasi, kaso may anak na ako bro, hindi ako pwede mo. Yung misis ko, Trish, sana payagan mo ko Everest Base
Sana,
Camp.
please.
Oh.
That's life-changing.
Oo nga.
Life-changing
nga.
yun. Pag nakita mo yung Himalayas, the Himalayan mountain, parang nakatunganga ka lang doon, tapos nagkakape ka. It's negative, nagkakape ka, nakikita mo yung,
Oh my.
wow.
I wanna
The
experience
scale,
that. Oh.
wow, grabe.
Actually, yung cousin ko, he's a nurse. Kuya Roy Baligod. He's a nurse sa Singapore. Parang, ano sila mga trauma nurses na pinapatawag sila, hine-helicopter sila to pick up mga injured from the Everest climb.
Wow. Really?
And he offered me na mag-apply ako post-PLE.
Pasok. Perfect.
Dati, ini-offer niya ako mag-apply post-PLE na mag-doctor doon sa Everest thing.
Yeah, para maging
Parang ikaw yung magiging
doctor.
doctor to pick up yung mga nai-injured. Kaya natatakot na ako dahil doon. Pero parang siguro one of the life goals yung makakit sa Everest, no?
Hindi. Sa ngayon, sa akin pare, hindi pa. Ayoko. Gusto ko pa
Kailangan
marami
mo
ako gusto
i-train
gawin.
yun eh.
Yeah,
Kailangan mo i-train
definitely.
yun, definitely.
And then, I think they won't allow you na naakit lang yun. Kailangan, merong progression. Kailangan nakapag 6,000 meters ka, 7,000 meters, and eventually 8,000 meters. Then Everest. Kasi parang very technical eh. And yung adaptation mo, physiologically, kailangan somehow alam mo nasa mababang lugar tayo. Yeah. It was a good experience. One of the best decisions.
So, nung time na nag-open ka ng kiosk, can you share yung process of like opening a kiosk? And saan ba mga kiosk mo pala?
Right now, si Walex nasa SM North, Mega Mall, and MOA. Yung tatlong biggest malls na yun. No? Pinangarap ko na magtatayo ako ng kiosk sa isa sa mga pinakamalaking malls. Didn't really plan na magtatlo. Nakasulat doon sa diary ko, isang kiosk lang. And you know what? Earlier this year, mga January, mag-isa lang ako. All my staff filed for resignation. So imagine mo, you have all these ideas. You wanted to travel, gusto makapunta ng Everest, gusto mag-hike. You want to try all these things. Then all of a sudden, kasi simula pa lang ng taon, yung inaasahan mo sa business mo, they filed for resignation. So paano na to? Paano na yung plano kong mag-kiosk, magtayo? And because of that, you know what, pare? I think because of that, my faith got stronger. During that time, wala na ako iba kayang gawin kundi magdasal eh. Alam mo yun, this is something na hindi mo na kayang kontrolin eh. Nakaplano ka, pero iba yung plano niya para sa'yo. Ang plano niya, mawalan ka ng tao. So, ano gagawin ko?
Akala mo madali lang,
Akala ko madali, yeah. Alam mo pare, I was so grateful para sa first 2 staff ko na talagang nakatulong sa akin na habang nasa school, they were packing orders, they were dropping it off every single day, asking customers inquiries. I was so grateful for them. Pero, yeah, because of that, nakagraduate ako ng med, no? Pero netong nag-focus na ako that I have all this time, saka ako nawalan ng tao. So that was the challenge. So all I had to do that time was actually just pray. And somehow, nagbigay siya ng mga taong Yeah, makakatulong sa akin. And yeah.
So you have a team na, you have a growing team.
Yeah, we have a growing team. From January na mag-isa, Jan o Feb na mag-isa lang ako. We are projected to have 30 employees by the end of the year.
So lahat yung pinapasweldo mo.
Lahat pinapasweldo. Tapos
Maybe
nagtaas pa. Nagtaas pa yung minimum ng dito sa Metro Manila. But you know what, pare? These people, 30 people na because of your business, you get to feed their families. And somehow help them in their financial goals. I'd like to think na sana ganun, no? But yeah, nakakatuwa. Alam mo, meron ako nakita. Kapag business owner ka, hindi na basis yung kung ano yung relo mo, kung ano sakyan mo, kung ano yung mga material na bagay na meron ka. It's how many people yung umaasa sa'yo to provide for their families. Gaano karami natutulungan mo because you can provide them these jobs. And you know what? I feel proud, no? I really don't. You know what? I have enough for myself. Sobra-sobra na yung natanggap ko to be able to buy that car, that BRZ, to be able to travel abroad, to be able to go to Everest, no? Alam mo, okay na ako eh. Okay na ako. Let me take care of these people na binigay nyo sa akin. Yan na lang yung dasal ko. And yeah. Nakakatuwa lang na parang 6 months ago, mag-isa ka lang, hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin mo. And ngayon, andito ka na.
Sobra yung sinabi mo. Grabe yun. So, I share the same in sentiments. Di ba, we have a 25-year-old clinic.
Yeah.
Na it was a small clinic, pediatric clinic, led by my mom. So, we have employees. May employees kami, may pharmacist and all. I was thinking na parang, ito na ba yung kaya naming i-achieve?
Mm-hmm.
Kasi, we have a person who works for us for like 10 years na. Yeah. So, gusto mo ma-expand din or like, makita nila yung vision mo na you're growing. You're a company that's growing. Mm-hmm. So, that's the reason why I wanted to expand into a multi-specialty clinic. Mm-hmm. So, I really pushed yung family ko to expand to a multi-specialty clinic kasi we have employees na may mga pamilya na. So, kailangan, minsan nakikita mo na dapat nag-grow din sila. Nagkakaroon din sila ng promotion or makita nila na magkakaroon ng ganito. So, yung work ko,
parang incentivize din yung effort.
Incentivize din yung effort nila.
And you know what, ang napansin ko sa mga gaya mo, sa mga bata na business owners, hindi, alam mo, we are very, empathetic. We want to take care of our people. I think, parang dati kasi, yung mga, parang there's this connotation na kapag business owner ka, akin lang. Diba? Papera pa mo yung mga tao mo. As much as possible, minimum lang. But, ewan ko, ang napansin ko, yung mga bata ngayon, gaya mo, ikaw, we tend to incentivize, make sure that our people are well taken care of. No? And I think that's a big part of your success bilang business owner. Yeah. So, yung multi-specialty clinic ninyo, ilang doctors na yung andun?
We have around, I think, 10 or 12.
Wow.
So, from a pediatric clinic, ngayon, we have a surgeon, a general surgeon.
That's nice.
An OB, 2 OBs, I think. And then, 3 IMs, 4 IMs. A pedia na kasama ng mom ko.
Yeah.
And then, ENT, and derma, and
definitely
also psych.
Lahat.
Yeah.
Feeling ko, alam mo, hulaan ko kung anong sunod dyan. Labs.
Exactly. So,
wow, andun na lahat, no?
So, actually, na-research ko na yung paano gumawa ng labs.
Really?
Na-research ko na paano mag-labs, x-rays, pricing, how much I'll spend, the workflow and all. Meron na akong proposal. I'm just sending it. Pinapa-approve ko na lang sa pamilya. Hindi na-approve eh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
and knowing na isa kang residente.
Hindi, kasi, naniniwala ko din sa sinabi mo sa isa mong TikTok na you have to delegate.
Yeah.
So, I told my mom, since you're not into business, the business side of having a clinic, you delegate, you have a manager.
Yeah.
Siya yung magmamanage ng lahat.
Siya bahala sa business side.
Business side. You have a pharmacist, siya ang bahala sa gamot. You have secretaries, sila sa scheduling.
And how was it? Kamusta yun nung sinadjust mo yan?
Dumami. Like, yung patients namin, we now cater to a lot of patients.
Wow.
Dati, anak mo lang. Ngayon, pwede na yung nanay at tatay.
Yeah.
Pwede rin yung lolo at lolo mo.
Oh yeah.
Pwede na rin yung GS. Andun lahat.
Andun lahat
So,
basically, pagpunta mo sa clinic namin, you can service na lahat.
Lahat.
Kulang na lang namin labs and x-rays, pero at least isang punta ka na lang doon.
Yeah.
And I want the comfortable space na comfortable yung couches, gusto ko malamig, kasi I want that experience.
Yeah.
And aside from that,
Very business-oriented eh.
Yeah.
Natutuwa ako kasi...
pero patient experience.
Yeah, of course.
Oo.
Yeah.
Kasi na lahat ng mga may sakit, that's the most vulnerable times of a person.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Especially going to a doctor. I want to change that.
Mhm.
I want na yung experience mo sa patient. Alam mo, malungkot ka na kasi may sakit yung anak mo.
Yeah, oo naman.
Dapat maayos siya. Dapat
Mm.
ma-experience mo yung best quality of care na
Yeah.
makuha mo.
And this small gesture, just having a simple, nice couch, it
Or
really helps somehow.
air-conditioned
No? Air-conditioned. Yung stuff, talagang nararamdaman mong merong paki sa'yo.
Mhm.
No, hindi yung parang para lang matapos yung araw niya. Yeah.
And I pride myself na nagagalit ako sa mga employees ko kapag late nila nire-replyan yung mga inquiries sa Facebook.
Kasi ayaw mo rin yan.
Kasi ayaw ko na nalilate yung reply sa akin.
Yeah.
Kasi
That's nice.
at night, may sakit yung anak mo. Anong i-message mo? Yung clinic na unang magre-reply, yun yung pupuntahan
Yeah.
mo, di ba?
Oo naman.
Oh, so, hinahanap mo yung pinakamabilis mag-reply, yung ER na pinakamalapit and all. So,
Yeah.
And I pride also yung company namin na yung employees namin, siguro mga twice na, napadala namin sila to Hong Kong and to Singapore.
That's nice. That's
So,
nice.
sabi ko
Kaya
kasi,
nakakatuwa naman.
bakit wala tayong company outings, wala
Company
tayong company
outings.
trips. So, bigyan mo naman sila ng konting incentives paminsan.
Nakakatuwa naman yun. And yan din yung plano ko kay Walex. Eventually, bring my my team abroad,
Diba?
no? Yeah, and you know what? Paminsan-minsan, kailangan mo rin talagang, alam mo yun, they are giving so much
Mhm.
sa kumpanya mo. And to be honest, kung wala yung mga tao mo, wala yung team mo, hindi mo naman magagawa to.
Hindi mo
So, ano ba naman yung just, alam mo yun, treat mo naman.
Yeah.
Di ba? Yeah. And then it builds that culture of just, I want to be here because they are taking care of me. Di ba?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're able to focus on the more important
On the more
stuff,
important things.
which is for us clinicians to do surgery
Mhm.
or to do yung consults well.
Mm.
Kasi hindi na namin iniisip yung iba. And
Mhm.
for you as a founder, sabi mo nga, to be able to do the thinking.
To do the do the
Which
thinking.
is your real, naman.
Yeah. That's the goal. Yeah.
So, apart from that, any other things you would want to share to all the kids na who are aspiring to become like you or to become a doctor or become an entrepreneur?
Doctor, entrepreneur. Pray. You are young. Bata ka pa. You have a lot of time. And kung isipin mo, kung kaya ka pag-aralin ng parents mo, if you still get allowances from your parents, there's no really risk para sa'yo. So just do whatever you want. No? You have that business idea, go for it. You want to do this, try it. Diba? Walang mawawala sa'yo eh. Ang pinakapangit lang is pupunta ka ng 30 mo, you want to try all these things, but yung stake mataas na. You have this family to feed, you have a kid, no? And you cannot do all of these things because nung bata ka, nung tinutulungan ka pa ng parents mo, nung meron ka pang allowance, hindi mo ginawa, hindi mo sinubukan. And sa ngayon, alam mo, kinatatakutan ko lang. Ayokong tumanda na sasabihin ko sa sarili ko na sayang hindi ko sinubukan. Mahirap yun.
Napakahirap nun.
Yeah.
Insanitas ko eh. You said na sana hindi ko sinubukan, no? Napakaganda no kasi gusto mo yung prime years mo, you try everything, eh, no?
Yeah.
You try every single thing.
Yeah.
Mag-fail ka and all. Kasi now na I have responsibilities,
Mhm.
parang kailangan yung decision making ko mas mas
You cannot afford to
safe
lose.
na.
Yeah.
Kumbaga yung risk-taking ko, when I was young, yung risk ko was, I gambled my medical tuition.
It's all about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yung risk ko, it's just me.
Yeah.
Pag pumalpak ako, okay lang. Pero ngayon, the pressure is, I have to feed my kid. I
Yeah.
have to feed my wife,
Yeah.
my family,
Mm.
and I have to pay for the bills.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
everything that I do is, mas risk, yung risk appetite ko is not that high na.
Not that high. Yeah.
Kaya I agree to your suggestion na kung bata ka pa, gawin mo na lahat.
Do everything.
Do everything.
Yeah.
So, what's the next chapter for Walex? Or any other things na ila-launch mo na pwede mong i-share before we end?
Ngayon, just focus on building this business, no? Expanding. And just making sure that I grow as a person, as an entrepreneur. If you chase that as a goal of becoming a better person, hindi ka magkakamali.
Yeah.
Don't chase money. Yeah. Sa akin, maybe I'm just, in such a position na kaya ko sabihin to. Pero naniniwala ako ngayon that money will follow eh. Yeah, just ayan.
So yeah, any other plug mo sa business mo sa kanila? Pwedeng makita saan mo?
Kung gusto nyo makita on how I build Walex, if you want to see my story, my thought processes, kung ano yung mga challenges na kinakaharap ng pagiging isang business owner, and everything in between, of being an athlete, of trying to do all these things, no, even before I turn 30. You can follow my social media accounts at Paulo Vispo. And that's it.
So follow him, Paulo Vispo, and support his brand, Walex. What began as a small pediatric clinic has now grown into a dedicated space for healing. From one doctor to a team. From serving children, parents, and even grandparents. For 25 years, we've watched families grow, and now it's time we grow with them. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic, our foundation is built on values that define how we care, how we lead, and how we grow. We lead with compassion, we strive with excellence, and we embrace innovation. Our vision moving forward is to become your family's one-stop healthcare partner, a clinic built around your life. These are more than words, they are who we are. At Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ellen Mee P. de Guzman.
I'm Mylene Medrano Kilang.
I'm Dr. Christine Campos Escalona.
Dr. Iverson S. Cruz.
And I am Dr. Minerva B. Malilin, your trusted pediatrician.
Our vision is to be a trusted family-oriented, multi-specialty clinic known for quality of service, patient-oriented care across all ages. Because your health matters at every age and every season. Tugigaraw Child and Adult Care Clinic. Healthcare that grows with you. And thank you for coming here. But before we end, I have a segment na parang rapid fire questions din na kung anong mas gusto mo.
Okay.
Well, nasagot mo na yung una eh. So, medicine or business?
Business.
Cardio or strength training?
That's nice. Cardio.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Best purchase you have ever made?
Oh.
Ang dami mo nabili. Hindi mo alam kung yung best purchase.
Pwede bang
Or list of the best purchases you think? Di ba nauso yun ngayon yung top 5? Worth your money.
Alam mo, nakakatawa dyan. Katatapos ko lang gumawa ng video about that eh.
Yeah.
Pero yung best kasi, you know what, ano ba? Ito na lang. Can I revise the question?
Okay, sige.
How about the most rewarding purchase na ginawa ko?
Ayun, sige, sige.
Able to treat my parents and my siblings.
Yeah, yung first, no?
Yeah.
Yung first
Sarap,
dinner
sarap.
with them, no?
Yeah.
The best yun. Like, ako nun, yung pinaka maliit lang yung first cause of family go was crypto gains ko.
Crypto gains mo.
Feeling ko sobrang yaman ko. I treated them dinner.
That's nice,
Tapos
diba?
binilang ko yung dad ko ng TV. Tapos tinatanong ko
Wow.
yung mom ko, Ma, anong gusto mo?
Yeah.
Wala akong gusto.
Yeah.
Sabi, ha? Bibilan nga kita ng gusto mo. Wala akong gusto. Bili ka ng gusto mo. Sabi niya. So, ganun sila
Sarap sa pakiramdam, no?
yung first dinner. And
Yeah,
my brother, who's an IM resident sa TMC ngayon,
Mm.
he also did that sa parents ko.
That's nice.
You know naman na hindi ganun kalaki ang sweldo ng private,
Private.
'di ba? Na
Yeah,
na
yeah.
resident. Pero yung una niyang ginawa sa first sweldo niya was to treat my parents.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I am so proud and amazed na yun yung best purchase mo ever.
Yeah.
If there was one person na makaka-dinner mo o makakausap mo, who is that person?
Alex Hormozy.
Alex Hormozy.
You know him?
Yes, of course. Ako naman si Chris Williamson.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, grabe yun. Idol yun, idol.
Yeah.
Okay. And to end, one word that best describes you. One word that you want to remember every day or what?
Authentic.
Authenticity. Thank you, man, for being here in the podcast.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
learned so much from you.
Thank you.
And it's an honor to have you in the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. That ends.
Wow.